One thing about me is that I hate gambling. It makes my hands sweaty, my heart beat fast, and my head go crazy. Despite not being a fan of gambling, there was a crazy opportunity that came up with this car, and I made the most risky financial decision of my life. Today, I'm going to tell the outrageous story behind how I got this car, because it is not normal. And you might have noticed the car is completely filthy from my road trip. So I'm gonna go ahead, wash the car, talk to you about the story, and also walk through my future plans for the car. But first and foremost, let's get to that story. When I am in the market to buy a car, what I typically do is I analyze the market. I watch it for a couple months before doing anything. I always try to make sure I see what the low cars are selling quick for, what price ranges cars don't sell for, so I know if a price is bad, and I tend to settle on a price I think is fair for the car. I was doing this for the S2000, and I was specifically hunting for an AP1. One night, I was checking Craigslist, and this one popped up for a couple grand less than they're typically listed for, which immediately caught my attention. And I got to reading the article, and I was like, hey, I give the guy a call that night. We chat on the phone a bit, and things seem a little weird. What he tells me is that he has had the car in his possession for 3 days total. It was not in his name. So immediately I'm thinking, red flag. That's really weird. But whatever, let's dive into it more. I asked the guy, and he used a fake name. He went by the name of Ricky John. So Ricky informs me that he was given this car as a trade for doing paint work for an older gentleman. And I said, okay, that's reasonable. Like, he didn't pay you, he just paid you with this car, direct trade. And he said, yep. And I was thinking, who trades an S2000 for paint work? That is wild. So I asked for the car's VIN and the license plate. I called the DMV, no reports of theft or anything like that. However, I did discover that the car had been placed on non-operation status since 2021. So it was probably not driven for about 4 years. So I was like, that's absurd. There could be anything wrong with it. This thing could be totally busted. Anyways, we got to talking, and the guy said, hey, I got the car from the guy and I drove it 100 miles home, and it runs like a charm. Everything mechanically is great on the car, albeit a little cosmetically beat up. As I tend to be, I was a little nervous. I was like, this is probably not a situation I want to get into, but it was listed at a fair price. And I said, hey, if I can take even a couple more grand off that asking price, I'll do it. So he said, sure, come by and buy it tomorrow. I was like, okay, we are going. We are gonna make this happen. And that was a crazy moment, right? Because as far as car buying goes, it was lacking everything that would make someone comfortable about buying a car. I was buying from the wrong guy with a fake name. Now, funny enough, the smog, he went by the name of Mike Hawk. Now, for those of you who don't know that classic joke, say it fast enough and it'll spell out a phrase. That's kind of funny. And I read that and I said, oh my gosh, like, either I'm getting burnt by this guy right now, or he's just really afraid of floating his title, and he's covering up his identity in every single way possible. So I meet with a guy, we go for a test drive, and everything goes well. I check the oil, clean, coolant, clean, no major leaks aside from a little bit of valve cover. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't too sold until I went on the first test drive. And up until that point, I was driving a Miata. And I remember my first second hitting VTEC, and right then and there I was sold. Like, every bit of risk about this scenario, I said, screw it, we're going in. Went to the bank, got the cash, and paid him for it. And now comes the sketchy part, because I have to get the car in my name. It was given to me from someone that is not the owner of the car. I paid him cash, so it is untraceable. I cannot report it to police if anything happened. I would never be able to get my money back. And the only way that I would be able to trace him, which would be the smog check, he used an alias of Mike Hawk. So if anything was wrong with this car, I would have been destroyed. If it was stolen, it would have had to have been returned to the owner. if the smog check was false and forged, I could be out. There's no saying what the issue was. With a bit of faith, I went to the DMV the next day. And after 3 hours of waiting, I got the car into my name cleanly, and I was off on the journey of me and my S2000.
Alrighty-o. Love that. So as I was saying earlier, this car is kind of a barn find in a sense. Hello, new camera setup. How's it going? Well, that's a car in the middle of the road. Nice. So, what I was saying earlier is this car is almost like a rescue or a barn find in a sense. Hadn't been ran in forever. Wasn't the cleanest, but my goal with the car is to go ahead and make something out of it. Kind of bring a second life back into it in a sense, where I'll try to clean up the paint, fix up any sort of engine issues that there might be. A couple on the near horizon. I want to get a valve adjustment in, a new timing chain tensioner, a couple other items really. I just want to go and try to make the car better and better day by day. As my neighbor, I also want to go ahead and try to do as many tasteful mods as possible. You don't have to worry, I'm not going to go and cut fenders or anything like that. This build's going to be very, very OEM plus. Well, not OEM plus, but I'm not trying to go too crazy with it. Oh, that's a cool alpaca. And ultimately, too, I want to take this car around the US. I want to take it from state to state, see new roads as far as I go. So I'm not going to go over the top. I'm not going to go and add boost or anything like that for now. You never know. There's a chance we might get some boost. But for the most part, it's like, let's just keep reliable, enjoy our ability to go up to 9,000 RPMs. Actually getting kind of fast for that straight away. I'm going to tone it down. But I love the car, and I guess that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be treating this thing with some love, trying to rebuild, or we're going to try to take it back to its former glory is the goal. Anyways, appreciate y'all for stopping by. Thank y'all for, being a part of my journey too. I'm glad that y'all are interested in seeing the process of where I take the car. So anyways, thanks for stopping by, people. You know the drill. Have a great night and keep it mellow.